Question 3 is a really large question in terms of the amount of information being presented. So again, rather than reading from the beginning, the best approach is to go straight through to the actual requirement and see if we can work out what we're actually trying to find. In this case, it's an entirely wordy question and no calculations required at all. It's just asking us which of the following statements is true. Again, just be sure that you're happy with the question. Some will ask which are correct or true. Some will ask which are incorrect or false. So just be sure that you know what it is in this case. So if we go back this time and start reading at the beginning, it says we're looking at a company which hasn't been able to secure long-term debt finance because of a high level of gearing and lack of cash. So what they've done instead is enter into a factoring arrangement. The whole question, in fact, is about how we actually account for that factoring arrangement. And largely what we need to do is go and think about the contents of IAS 39, and particularly thinking about how much recourse there is on FC. So in this case, it says the receivables balance was 3 million and the factoring arrangement started just 1 month prior to the year end. We're now trying to prepare the financial statements, and the plan is that when they're prepared, we will resubmit them to other lenders to see if we can find alternative sources of finance. So the arrangement is that we receive 85% of the value of the receivables in advance, and the remaining 15% less any charges when the customer settles the balance. The factor is intended to charge us 2% of the amount advanced each month until settlement of the balance. And here's the important bit. The factor has the right to recover the 85% cash advance relating to any customer that doesn't settle their balance within 4 months from the start of the factoring arrangement. It carries on to say that at the moment, the accounting treatment we've followed is to credit the cash advance against receivables and then recognise an accrual for the 2% charge. As at the year-end date, none of the $3 million receivable balance has been received. Now, in this case, the accounting treatment that has been adopted is entirely incorrect. The fact that there is recourse on FC means we cannot credit that cash advance to our receivables. What that'll do is in our SFP, it'll mean that our current assets are understated, but equally what we're missing is the fact that the company has a potential liability to repay the factoring company. So both current assets and current liabilities currently being understated the way that this has been accounted for. Instead, because of that right of recourse, what we should have done is recognise this cash receipt by, yes, debiting our bank account, but crediting a liability account to show that we may have to repay this to the factoring company. So looking at the statements, trying to find which is true then, it starts off with the option that the accounting treatment is in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, and we've just said no, it isn't. The treatment here is incorrect. The second one is that there is no accounting standard which actually prescribes the treatment. And again, that is incorrect. IAS 39 is the standard relevant in this case. So the third answer is that the $2,550,000 should have been recognised as a liability rather than a reduction in the receivable balance, but that there is no major concern with the accounting treatment as the net effect on profit is the same. Now, this is where this falls down. There is a concern. So in terms of profit, no, I'm not too worried about profit at the moment, but what I am worried is that my SFP is entirely incorrect. What we're doing is understating both assets and liabilities. So looking at the final one of our options, it says the financial statements will be misleading to the potential lender as gearing is understated. And this is the one in this case which is true.